Hi, everyone tuning in to, our Keystone Get Down. My name is Paris Figueroa, and today I'm here to talk with a few guests about, leadership. I was going to introduce them, but I think I'm going to let them introduce themselves. We can start with AJ to my right.
Hello, everybody. I'm Anibal, also known as AJ. I go to John D. O'Brien. I'm in the 10th grade.
Hi, my name is Izzy Morales. I attend Wakefield Memorial High School and I'm a junior.
Hi, my name is Madison Jenkins. I'm a senior at Weston High School.
Hi, my name is Neve. I'm a junior. I attend Boston Community Leadership Academy.
Hi, my name is Krista. I attend John D. O'Brien, and I'm a junior.
Hello, my name is Nate. I go to Academy of Pacific Rim, and I'm a sophomore.
Maybe I should mention my school too, since everyone did. But my name's Paris, and I go to Newton South High School. So to kick off real quick, I just wanted to ask you guys. Everyone knows this is the Keystone Get Down. So real quick, what does Keystone mean to you guys, and how does Keystone play a role in your leadership? Anyone can start.
I'll start. So our community events really helped me grow my leadership, especially when we were fundraising and doing the Keystone store. It helped me step up and take charge and organize things and learn how to operate a system. Okay.
I could go next. For me, Keystone is far different than any other program here because it has an element of academic and career success as well as just being in a team full of your friends. And I think that's the biggest thing I like about Keystone. We are a family who have the same mindset to want to grow together, and that's what I like about Keystone.
Cool. Anyone have anything else to add?
Yeah, I can add on. I also kind of agree with Crystal and Izzy. It definitely has that element of, this is a family, this is a really close pack, but also you really gotta make sure you're doing community service, and community service to some will be it could be boring, but over here it's not boring. We had a haunted house, that was really fun, everybody liked it. We definitely have our events that we really are good at, and the community responds to that, and they obviously show support.
And so with that, on the topic of leadership, what does being a leader mean to you guys, and what are the most important qualities that a leader has or holds? Whether it's leading a group or just academic-wise, or if it's in your very own Boys and Girls Club.
I feel like a leader holds a lot of communication skills. That comes a big part of being a leader because you can't be a leader and not have communication skills and not be able to spread important information. So yeah.
I think another part of being a leader is also knowing when to step down and let other people take charge as well, and not just bossing everybody around. And I think Keystone's good at making sure everyone's voices are being heard.
Nate, you have anything else to add? What do you think a leader means? Or being a leader, what does that mean to you?
Being a leader means you're very respectful and passionate about what you want, to do.
I agree.
To lead others to do the same.
It's pretty valid. I agree with that. Yeah, I feel like a leader should always hold, that empathy within them so that they can adapt and be able to speak to different people and also just give everyone else the same respect that they want to be given to themselves. And with that, how do you think teens can build trust and credibility as leaders?
I can answer that. So I feel like teens could definitely build trust if you know your peers. So obviously Keystone, you're meeting new people if you don't really come to the club. So there's new members always coming in, new teens, younger teens, maybe even older teens sometimes. But it's just really trying to figure out who your peers are going to be for the next following year, because Keystone's really year round. Even if we don't really do much in the summer, we are still Keystone, so you always want to represent. But going to national stuff like that. But I say just trying to understand who you're gonna be with is really important. And then if you don't know who you're gonna be with, when it comes around to these fundraisers, you can't really fundraise. You're not gonna be able to really get the community to show support if you can't make a positive or good environment for people to support.
I agree with
Y'all are good. Go ahead.
I could add on. So having not a a relationship,
yeah.
a relationship with your staff and also your peers, because without having a relationship with your staff, you'll just feel alone. So like having that one-on-one, like, oh, I could be able to go to this person
You can
and just
learn
talk
from.
to them
Yeah.
about like what aspects I need to become a leader, or what do I need to do to branch myself out. That's a good way to help your leadership skills in other aspects.
I agree. And to add on to what AJ and Ave just said, I would say know your people, like they were just saying, and also be about what you say for your people. So if you're going to say you're going to do something for the community, make sure that it's done for the community, and make sure that the community's voice is involved in that being done for them.
And that's what you guys are doing in Keystone.
Yeah.
Because
I definitely think.
no, go ahead. I'm just the host. Y'all are the ones talking.
I definitely think like knowing from like learning from past like community service events and seeing what works is definitely something like we do in Keystone. Like for example, we have a Keystone store, and like if we see that like an item isn't selling as well, we're not gonna keep selling the item because it's not selling well. So just like learning from past mistakes and like past events is definitely something that we try to do in Keystone.
Yeah, and you kind of transitioned me to my next question for you guys, but I want to know, so what are some examples of leadership challenges that teens or that you guys have had during Keystone, or whether it's just within the Boys and Girls Club itself, and how have you guys learned from them, or what have you learned and how has that made you guys a better leader?
I think a challenge that we ran into, or something that was challenging for us in general, was definitely the Purple and Gold Night that we hosted. That was very different for some people. Like, some kids haven't worked with younger age groups before, so it was kind of difficult. But I think we persevered and we found quick solutions to maneuver around the problems that we faced.
I feel like one challenging thing we had came across was the haunted house, I would say, because that's one of our major sellers that we do and incorporate in the Boys and Girls Club. We overcame it by just like putting our differences aside and the day of just getting everything that we could do in order to work the haunted house out. So yeah.
I think another thing also is the Keystone store. We had a lot of restrictions on like different foods that we could buy that we weren't used to. But again, we figured out like what works and what kids would still buy.
And that's what good leaders do. You know, you guys have to be able to adapt to your situation. So whether it was the Purple versus Gold Night, you guys always learn as you go. So if it's a Keystoner's first time doing the Purple versus Gold Night, you guys just have to lean on each other, give each other the advice, because that's what leaders do. You guys are there for each other. You guys are also there for your peers. And with that, what are some tips for, setting and achieving goals like as leaders? So you guys have gone through those challenges and now you want to work from them and continue persevering so that you guys don't hit those barriers or those brick walls. So what would be some ways to just achieve those goals or set those goals? Y'all can think about the question. I know I asked a lot. You're going to cut this out, right?
Are you?
Yes. Nate, I want to hear from you. Let me reiterate the question for you. I'll reiterate it for you, just so it's like. Yep. Let me ask you again. I lost my number. Hold on. So. Whoa. I'm having like a brain fart right now. Okay, so what are things that you can do as a leader, or so that you guys are achieving and setting your goals? So, I don't know if you did Ready to Work, or a lot of us did Ready to Work here at the Boys and Girls Club, but we did a lot about goal setting. So as a leader, because that's what we're talking about, what can you do to set and then achieve those goals? Like, what are the steps that you would take? Yeah, so like, because what we were just talking about were challenges that we've gone through as leaders or just within Keystone, and I kind of gave like the advice of just leaning up against each other so that you guys can learn from one another. But then when it comes to setting a new goal, so if it's like Keystone Store, we want to make 500 by the end of the month from Keystone Store, how would you as a leader take those steps to making sure that we get to that goal?
As a leader, I'd like make sure everything's on top of, everything is on top of what they're assigned to do. And if everyone wants the same goal, we're gonna work together to get it.
Pretty valid, yeah. try to answer this question more in a generic sense so that, because this is kind of advice that we're giving to our, this is like advice that we're giving off to our listeners too. So what tips would you guys give to our listeners?
Some advice I would give to you guys would be passionate about Keystone. Not only Keystone, but be passionate about what you're putting yourself into. Because Keystone comes with a lot, and it's going to be stressful sometimes, but you have to find a way to work with it and cope with different things that that Keystone brings to the table. And also just have fun, I would say. It's not like just, oh, Keystone's a leadership program where they're mad strict. We're literally a family. Like, we laugh and joke, but we also get our work done. So,
Time and a place. I think that's another good aspect that we can add in there. Just like leaders know when there's a time and a place, so there's a time to be joking, laughing, and there's time to be serious and focused about what we're about. Yeah. AJ, you guys want to add anything?
Goals, like, if you have a goal and it's easy, it's not a good goal. So I feel like if you're really trying to get something done, make sure like your goal is hard. It's not really achievable to other people. I'm gonna plug myself, I guess. So like for me, I wanted a clothing brand, and I started my clothing brand, which I'm wearing right now. It's called Odd Streetwear.
Streetwear culture, guys.
So that just shows like, yeah, I have my clothing brand, but I know a lot of people can't like really do that goal. It may not be because of the mindset or like financially, but like just since I was able to achieve it, that just shows like grit and determination. So you can apply that to any goal, like for your future, your career, just doing your homework. Like just make sure you put your mind to it. But if it's easy, it's not a good goal.
It's valid. And with that, so kind of on a more positive note, after you've accomplished all your goals, so you know you're this big leader, whether it's your Keystone president or Keystone vice, or you're on the e-board, how can teens learn to just recognize and celebrate the accomplishments of their team members as leaders? So what do you think is a good way to just make sure that you guys are recognizing and recognizing whatever it is that you have accomplished, and what are the benefits to that?
I think it's as easy as just reaching out to them, saying congrats, or you did that, or like good job, and saying that you're proud of them and that you admire their work, and like try to like aim to get them to help you to be there to their level, so like the whole community's lifted up, so like all of y'all are winning. Like if one wins, we all win.
I think the biggest thing with Keystone is like we try to be there for each other, and we can't say we're there for each other and not uplift each other and congratulate and give like our members their flowers if we don't acknowledge their wins, their accomplishments. So I think like being in Keystone, we do try to like acknowledge, oh yeah, like congrats on something as simple as like getting 100 on tests, which usually
Whether it's your birthday or something, you will always see in our text messages like we're pointing out everyone's birthday.
Yeah, stuff like that.
Like Crystal said and Izzy, like a good job, like a simple good job could go a long way. So just make sure you always put in some input and support.
I just have 2 more questions for you guys before we wrap up. I kind of wanted to go back to that aspect of what are good qualities within a leader and focus more on empathy. And I wanted to hear from you guys, what role does empathy play in an effective leader? So whether it's in personal experiences for you guys, like someone being able to empathize with you, and so that our listeners can learn from this too, what empathy does when it comes to being a leader, being president, being vice, being any type of person in a higher position with the group. You guys might hear some people in the background. Don't be distracted. It's okay.
Yeah, we're in the teen center.
Yeah, we're in the teen center right now. That room over there, that's where Keystone is held. So, yeah.
So I feel like the community is empathizing for me. I feel comforted, and I feel like seeing like the community cares. Like even as small as like I work in the kitchen for the Boys and Girls Club of Yawkey, and like it's as simple as like Miss Shani saying, "Oh, watch your head when something hot's coming out," or something like that. It just makes me feel like warm inside. Or like when I hear like "Get home safe" or like "Good night," that kind of like caring and like that showing that you like have emotions towards me, or like you have like that, I don't know, mutual support for me. Like you care about where I'm going, or you care about like, I don't know. Anything. Yeah. As small as like, not as small, as big as even Mr. Ron telling us like community leadership stuff and career readiness. That's like showing a lot of empathy because you care about my future.
Yeah. You guys have anything else to add? No? I would say, Crystal hit it right on the spot. But yeah, I would just say, kind of going off of Crystal, I just wanted to add, empathy just sets a level, again, of support. Knowing that other people around you are thinking about you can just push another person to want to strive for the goals that they have. So always remember, when you are a leader, or even if you're not, even if you're just one of the peers in Keystone, you guys still do play an important role with supporting each other, or if it's even in the teen center. Show that empathy to others, because you guys know that does go a long way. My last question for you guys, this is more of like a tip that you can give to our listeners. How can teens stay motivated and avoid burnout as leaders?
I think just think of like the greater good and like the outcome that you're going to get from doing it. It could be very positive and beneficial to you.
I think this is something I am constantly trying to like struggle with, and I think the thing that has like helped me is just taking the time for myself and kind of like realizing what am I doing the activities like for, kind of what Madison was talking about. Like if I'm just doing that activity or club just because like, oh, like it'll look good, then there's no point in me doing it, because it's not benefiting me mentally, and it's just like wearing me down. So just realizing like what you're doing the activity for, like what the purpose behind it is, and just taking the time for yourself, whether it's sleeping, hanging out with friends, listening to music, whatever you want to do, just taking the time for yourself and figuring out what the purpose of that activity is for.
Valid. Neve, anyone else have anything else to add?
No, I don't think so. I think they hit the main points. Just like try to keep yourself like active, like into clubs, but don't get into a club that you know, like, am I joining this club just because my friends are joining it, or like
That personal
just
benefit.
find your own passion and just go your own path, because in the future your friends are not going to always be there for you.
Exactly.
So yeah.
That's some good advice. Good way to wrap this up. So thank you guys again for tuning in to our Keystone Get Down, where we talked about leadership. This is definitely something that we will try to implement more. We don't know what our next topic will be, but we will keep you guys in tune. Thank you. Bye.